Federica Pinna, pastry chef.
Sabino Mazzone, pastry chef.
Himari Bochkay, barista supervisor.
We've got you. Sean Maharjan, sushi head chef.
Mitchell Collier, duty manager.
Anna Grabczewska, public area cleaner.
Whatever you do in hospitality, isn't it good to know that someone's got your back in case anything goes wrong?
Fantastic. Right, it is my pleasure to introduce to you a Great British Menu finalist, a fantastic chef, and to be honest, Craig, the glue that's been holding this demo tent together.
I'm not going to take the credit for
Craig
that.
Sherrington.
Thanks for bigging me up. It's been a fantastic joint effort by lots and lots of people, including all the chefs that have been on today. They've given up their time free today to do this, to keep us all out there in the public eye and keep hospitality the amazing business that it is.
It is. I mean, it has been a real coming together over the period of, well, 3-4 weeks, really, hasn't it? Almost.
It's not been long at all. It kind of, Sean approached me maybe 4 or 5 weeks ago saying he was trying to get this thing together and said, would I kind of jump on board with him and try and get it out there to a wider field? And I'll give Sean his due. I'm not going to take any credit for this. This is all his baby. All I've done is just try and help along the way. So big credit to Sean Noonan on this one. This is really his gig, and he's pulled this all together. He's been a seamstress that's sewn all the bits together.
just to very quickly explain to everybody, Sean Noonan came up with this idea just to help producers and bring the chefs together, and yourself and Jackie Moss have jumped on just to help him. So it's a real small team of 3 people that have put all this together. So just well done.
Yeah, very much so. And until now, I've been kind of behind the scenes of what you guys are seeing out there now, making all this lot of work behind the scenes to flick between like kind of studios here and there and make sure everybody's in the right place, and get Brian on board on the side of things, making sure he's comparing all this kind of stuff. My beautiful wife Louise is sat behind the computer now making all these things work. So we're definitely, and then you got children running in and out behind you as well.
Well, I think it's those lockdown moments, isn't it? You know, where somebody comes in behind the door or something like that. So yeah,
very much so. I mean, this is, I mean, we're doing this more often than not from home as well. Everyone's in their own kitchens, and just it's an amazing event, absolutely amazing. I'm really, really pleased to see so many people supporting it also.
So we've been right across the north today, from east to west. Whereabouts are you?
Currently, I'm just north of Durham in a little village called Sacriston, which is about 4 or 5 miles away from Lumley Castle, where I'm currently working.
Brill. Okay, so it's good to see this side of the camera. Should we get you going?
Absolutely, yeah. So the dish I'm going to be doing, I'm going to do 2 dishes today for you guys. I'm going to do a lobster crumpets with some of this amazing oil that we got from the Yorkshire Rapeseed Oil Company, and some of their amazing lemon mayonnaise. I'm going to pop a little bit of that into there as well. So we get on with the first dish. The crumpets is going to be the first element of the first dish. So in the bowl here, I've got 125 grams of strong flour. Into there is going to go 5 grams of caster sugar and 1 gram of salt. And then we've got 1 gram of baking powder going into there, 7 grams of dried yeast. And then on top of there, we've got 150 mils of warm water. So what's going to happen there, this is going to create like a really nice sticky batter. But we need to let that raise a little bit. So we're going to put that to one side in a second, and we'll get on with the lobster garnish that we're going to do with it. So very, very simple. As you can see there, it's just a very thin batter that I've got going on. Yeah.
Rob Allen says it sounds amazing.
Thanks, Rob.
Magella.
So that's all we've got there.
There's loads of comments coming in, mate.
We're going to get that diced.
Okay. Just while Craig's doing that, there's loads of good comments coming in, and we try to read them out quickly because obviously they take up a little bit of the screen. So if I interrupt Craig, that's why.
That's fine. Interrupt away, Brian, if you need to. I know I do talk a lot as well, so if you need to tell me to shut up, please do.
Not at all.
Okay, so I've got some fresh cooked lobster that I got this morning from our local fishmongers, Hodgson's Fishmonger, the suppliers at Lumley Castle also. And I've cooked that and taken out of the shell, so it's ready to rock and roll for me now. So I'm just going to dice that up.
So Yorkshire Rapeseed are asking if they might be able to get the recipes at the end of all this. So
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, with us throwing this together at very short notice as such, it'd been quite unfair to ask all the chefs to kind of get the recipes to us as well. It was hard enough, just getting the dishes. So what we'll do is we'll get back to all the chefs after this and get the recipes off them, and then we'll get them up there on the Facebook page after also.
Put a little booklet together.
We could also put a little booklet together, yeah. My able assistant in the background's just said. I'm sure she's just volunteered to maybe put that together and edit it for us.
sounds like it.
Yeah, we could sell that on behalf of Hospitality Action also to raise a little money for that amazing charity.
Yeah, yeah.
So, lobster just diced up into the little tub there. Give it a little border clean. Just going to dice some red pepper into there also.
Do you know anyone called?
Which are a little bit sweeter than the normal red peppers.
Do you know anyone called Daryl Collins? Saying that he loves a bit of crumpet.
Well in, Daryl, well in. Okay, so I'm just going to dice the red pepper into there.
These are two words that I didn't think I'd see together. Lobster crumpets.
Lobster
Sounds
crumpet,
great.
Yeah. It's a little derivative of that nicely well-known chef Tom Brown, who did a brown shrimp crumpet. So I thought I'd elevate it, even though brown shrimp's an absolutely amazing product and from our neck of the woods, Brian. I just thought I'd give it a little bit of a twist and a little bit of a lift by putting the lobster with it instead. So into there, I'm just going to put like half, if not a quarter of a teaspoon of Essential Cuisine lobster glass, which will just give it a really nice boost of that lobster flavour. Very
important to get the Essential Cuisine tag in.
Absolutely. Hope to be sponsored by them very soon. So then we've got the amazing lemon mayonnaise that the Yorkshire Rapeseed Oil Company do as well. So I'm going to put a little bit of that in there. I'm not going to put too much in because I don't want to mask the flavour too much. I'm just going to give that a nice mix just to bind it together is what I'm looking for there. And just to hold it when I stick it on top of the crumpet. So a little bit of salt and a little bit of pepper is going to go in there also. A tiny bit more mayonnaise just for a bit more binding.
I always think mayonnaise made with rapeseed just looks happy. Just looks like happy mayonnaise.
Just this rapeseed oil that they've done anyway is just absolutely amazing. Just the flavour that you get from it and the colour of it is amazing also. I'm just going to do what all good chefs should do and just test what they've done. Banging. That's really, really nice, that. As a little compliment I'm going to do to go with that. I'm going to take some of the rapeseed oil and place it into a squeezy bottle. And I've got a couple of drops, it says somewhere, there it is, of essential oil, so lemon essential oil. I'm going to pop a couple of drops of that in there. Basically, I'm going to turn this rapeseed oil into lemon oil. So that just needs a bit of a jiggle around in there. We've got a nice bit of lemon oil to go there. I find sometimes buying oils that are already made is quite expensive. You don't get the flavour that you want from them or the intensity of the flavour that you want from them. But if you actually make it yourself from an amazing quality base oil and add just a little couple of drops of essential oil into there that you actually want to get the flavour from, you get a much better product.
Yeah.
So let's have my crumpets there. They're starting to rise nicely in there now. So it's going to take a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do, because I'm basically nearly there with that one now, all I've got to do is cook the crumpets. I'll just push this out of the way a little bit and I shall start my second dish off just so we can start in a little bit of succession. So I'll bring some more stuff over here. So for the next dish I'm going to do a almond and carraway crusted venison loin with red cabbage puree, roasted butternut squash, galette potato and pork jus. Sounds very, very kind of flash and all that blah, 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 but it's not, but it's very, very simple. So I've got a nice piece of red cabbage here. So I'm just going to shred that. Run over to my stove and grab a pan. So basically that just goes into the pan, a little bit of veg stock and water, and what we're going to do is we're going to stew that away till the cabbage goes very, very soft, and basically we're just going to blitz it in a little handy mixer there. So that cabbage is on the stove in the background. We'll do the butternut squash now. So I'm just going to give it a quick peel. So how do we feel the event's going today, Brian?
I think what I've seen, it's just fantastic. You know, and the reality of it is that you've been working the desk all day, and then in the few minutes in between, nipping out and getting ready for this dem.
And Sean's going to be doing exactly the same later because he's on at 7 o'clock tonight. So he's going to be behind the computer. He's got 3 laptops on the go, believe it or not. So he can see what's going on with my demonstration now. He can see what's going on in the other tent. And plus he's all over social media as well with the help of Jackie Moss and from behind the scenes. So it's a real collaboration. And just everybody out there has been absolutely fantastic as well. I've loved every minute of this morning. Just seeing the support that we're getting for this, and also the support for Hospitality Action, which is the main reason why we're doing this anyway, just for them guys, because it's a charity that's actually, believe it or not, very close to mine and Louise's heart. Because as some of you guys might know, we had our own place, Virginia House, over in Ulverston last year, and we decided to close it down for one reason or another. And Hospitality Action actually jumped to our aid, because when we closed it down, we never had an income, we never had a home, we never had a business anymore. So they actually gave us a grant to get ourselves set back up again, which was massive, absolutely massive. So as much as I can do for these guys, I will do, because they've basically, if you want to say, saved my life and saved our life as a family. So there's no underestimating how brilliant this charity is. There really isn't.
It's very true, Craig. And sadly, there's going to be a lot more around in that situation coming out of this. So it's great that you're doing this.
Yeah, very much so. So I've just diced my butternut squash up there into quite large dice. All I'm going to do is just stick that in a pan with a little bit of the rapeseed oil again, salt and pepper, and I'm going to roast that through the oven to make it nice and soft. But also what's going to happen to that is going to be nice and caramelised as well on the outside. So nice and dark brown on the outside, loads of caramelised flavour, and really soft and butternut squashy in the middle, really nice. So I'm just going to put a pan on the stove for that. I'm going to pop some of that rapeseed oil in that pan. I will move the camera over to the stove when I go and do the crumpets, so you can actually see what's going on in there as well. But I'm just going to pop these rapeseed oil into the pan, these butternut squash into the pan there, and seasoning as well. I mean, just listening to the stories from some of the other guys today, Tim Bilton, and what's happened in their lives and how passionate they are about what they're doing, and for him to lose his sense of taste. Yeah. For any chef, that's just catastrophic at the end of the day, isn't it? But for him to fight back and to be able to kind of bring that back and do what he's doing now, hats off to that man. Really, really hats off.
And do you know what, Craig? It's like everyone that's doing dems today. In the blink of an eye, it was yes. You know, everybody wanted to do the dems and be part of this. Yeah, I mean, we never had anybody say no. And everybody that we approached to do this in the next two, obviously we've got 11 demonstrations tomorrow as well from chefs in the north that have really kind of pulled together and doing a really great job. And we approached them, and everyone was like, "Yeah, love to do it, love to get on board." So yeah, big up to everybody there as well. Claire Woodyear, Claire the market chef, says this dish sounds incredible. It is. I'm sure after we've done it, Louise and the girls will be definitely getting in there and filling the bellies with it. I tell you what, there's a lot of families going to eat well tonight on the back of this, isn't there? Very much so, yeah. I mean, Darren Creed from Loughborough College
couple of demonstrations ago just before Paul. I think he did more or less a banquet there with the pulled lamb shoulder and the smoked potatoes and stuff. That looks absolutely amazing. Right, where am I? What am I doing? So my cabbage is cooking away there nicely now. The butternut squash is in the oven. Let's get the venison across and let's see what we're going to be doing with that. So nice loin of local venison. I butchered it myself this morning, took all the sinew and stuff off it. So all I'm going to do with that is just cut it into portions, season it, and then roll it in a almond and carraway crust, which is also here. So let's get on with that. Let's give my board a little bit of a wipe. The only thing I do have to say about everything that's going on today, a little disclaimer from our side of things, is that all this lot's taking place in domestic environments. So you'll see us use the same board for venison, lobster, and all of the different things. This food isn't for sale and it's not going out to the public. Our homes aren't EHO rated. So if you see things that you think is a bit funny and we shouldn't be doing it as professional chefs, it is in our home environment. So we've no need to worry about that kind of thing because it's not going to be eaten afterwards, apart from by our family probably, who are going to be absolutely starving when they're watching this.
Good point, well made.
So I've cut the venison loin into 2 pieces there. I'm just going to season that.
I tell you what though, Craig, it's been quite nice to put a chef whites on again, hasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've recently put a YouTube channel together with some little demonstration videos, very much similar to this actually. And to start with, I was doing it in just my normal clothes because I was at home. But then for one day, I put a chef's jacket on and it made me feel so much better. It's like the Men in Black at the end of the day, isn't it? It's the only one you'll ever wear and it's the comfiest thing you'll ever wear as well. So I'm just going to dip my loin into some egg white. And then into my crust that I've Blue Peter stylely prepared earlier. Just pop that back on the plate there. So we use egg white for doing this because egg yolk's a little bit too heavy. All we want is the sticking properties of the egg, not the actual richness of the yolk. So that's why I use egg white. So there we go, you can see it there. Just really nicely glazed there.
It's a really good tip for folks at home that might do this and wonder why the crumb falls off.
Yes. And then once we cook it in the pan, we're going to just really cook it very gently on a gentle heat with some butter and oil in the pan and almost kind of caress and kind of the love that's going to go into that with it not being too high a heat and not being too low a heat. And then the venison is going to cook nice and pinkly in the middle while the crust is getting a nice seal on the outside and going golden brown as well, yeah. So let me just check my cabbage, I can smell that. That's going well over there. Crumpets are rising there. I'll just knock that back.
I agree, Yorkshire rapeseed oil. We are picking up some top tips here.
So as you can see with that there, that's gone quite sticky and gloopy now, which means the gluten in that flour is activated, and these should be ready to go on the stove now. So if you'll just give me a second, I shall move you around to the stove.
Okay, chef. I think this has been the other thing, hasn't it? We've all had to learn to become camera people. Or
yes. I think you said earlier today that I think my new name is going to be Craig Sherrington.
I think so.
Okay, so I've got a hot plate or a griddle on the stove on the go here. So I'll move you back around there a bit because you've just drifted off. There we go. So it's got 2 rings, which I'm just going to give a light grease. And then the griddle plate's just going to get lightly greased also. And then we're ready for our crumpets to go in.
Hi, Eric. One of our students just saying hello, mate.
Okay, so our crumpet mix is ready here now. It's just going to go into the rings. So the trick with this now is just to leave it, don't touch it. Because what's going to happen is it's going to cook from below, and you'll see bubbles appear on the top of the crumpet.
And
then
if you didn't have
I've got this magic set of gadgets here that will lift the rings off when they're ready to go, because they're going to be absolutely red hot.
good tip. And
So
Craig, if you didn't,
sorry, Brian.
if you didn't have rings, you could do them freehand, couldn't you?
You can do them freehand, yeah, but do you know the difference between a freehand crumpet and one in a ring?
Is it a pikelet, something like that?
It is, well done. Top marks to that man. So if you're going to do it in a ring, it's a crumpet. If you're going to do it freehand onto the hot plate, it's a pikelet.
I didn't know that.
They taste very much the same, though. So if I can, I'll just bring you into... Oh, wrong way. So that's what's going on in the ring down there.
Okay.
So they're starting to cook on the bottom now, and they're starting to cook on the side, so hopefully these will come away very nicely. Sometimes the first ones are what I call the sacrificial crumpets, because they don't come away from the ring nicely, but once they've been tempered a little bit, then they come away from the ring nicely a little bit more. The mix that I've made will probably make a good 8 or 10 crumpets, so you've got a little bit of practicing or a little bit of stuff that you can play with in there. So while we're about, I'll just check what's going on. You're right there? Yeah?
She's waiting for crumpets.
Come here then. So to show you this little one here, she's just she's the first one to get in on these crumpets.
Hello, who have we got there?
Just plodding around in the background, being told to stay out of the way, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so they're loose on there now, so that means they're cooked on the bottom. Just waiting for the tops to cook along a little bit now, so then we can turn them over and finish them on the other side. Yes, Dean, we will be putting crumpets on the menu at LUMLEY Castle at some point, yes. So we're nearly there with that. Might have a little knife just to cut them out of the ring, just to make sure they go okay.
And the key thing with those crumpets is a controlled heat, isn't it? Nothing too aggressive.
So, yeah. Not too hot, not too cold, just a nice heat so the bottoms don't burn, but also so that it cooks up through the actual crumpet itself.
James Walter is impressed. You learn something every day. Pikelet crumpet.
If you're a chef, every day is a school day. If you stop learning, go and do something else.
Absolutely. I always say the school here is an expensive way for me to carry on learning, because I'm always watching what the other tutors and chefs are doing.
Right, we're going to turn these out of the ring now because they're just about ready. There we go. So the batter just needs to finish cooking on the top a little bit, but then we'll be there. So just to finish those off, I'm just going to pop them in the oven. He says. There we go. So I'll move us back over here just so we can let my little joystick thing settle down a little bit. So our cabbage is nearly ready to blitz now, so that's what we're going to do. So I've got a little, just a tiny, tiny one here. So just move me around so we can see what we're doing.
That's it, great. Yeah.
Excellent. So the cabbage is just going to go into there and onto here for about 30 seconds to a minute to become a really nice fine puree. So here comes the noisy bit.
Yeah, of course.
I'm going to take it off and release the pressure from this, because putting hot things in something with no vent on it is quite dangerous sometimes.
Yeah. Craig, your father-in-law says he's... Sorry.
Sorry, Brian, again.
Your father-in-law says he's proud of you.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Appreciate that. So that looks a nice consistency now. Beautiful. Put that back to the side somewhere. There we go. I'm just going to pop that into a bottle because I want to put that onto the plate nicely. So I'm just going to put it into a jug first and then pour that into my bottle. I'll do it into this one, it's a bit smaller. I can't talk when I'm doing something very technical because I'm not I get told by my wife quite a lot I'm not very good at multitasking.
You're a man.
So that's the red cabbage puree in the bottle there, ready to go. Let's just check the oven for these crumpets. Nearly there, they're looking lovely. So I'm just going to move the board a second because I think I'm more or less finished with that. That's a little bit of a clean, as all good chefs should. Okay, so when we do the plating of the lobster, I'm going to do them on 2 different plates. Just so in my mind, and as you can see, the aesthetics of food is very, very important as far as I'm concerned, because as the old adage goes, you eat with your eyes before you actually eat it. So if it looks nice on the plate, you've got a better sense that it's going to taste nice. So I'm going to show you what it's going to look like on 2 different plates with 2 different styles of presentation.
Okay.
So my crumpets are ready there. I'm just going to put those on the plates. A little bit more of the lemon mayonnaise from the Yorkshire Rated Company. Just a nice little bit of moisture to the dish. Then we'll bring our lobster mix back in there. Just nipping into the fridge, guys. Just some fresh herbs, fresh wild herbs that I picked yesterday. So sweet cicely and some wood sorrel. Just going to finish this dish off nicely. So all we're going to do, we'll pop that lobster on top of these crumpets. And then with the sweet cicely, picking the nice tips. And then the nice little bit of wood sorrel is going to go in there as well.
I think everybody's like me, just trying to imagine the flavour of that rich, creamy lobster.
The flavours are immense. They're really, really nice. Because the wood sorrel gives a really nice lemony flavour. The sweet cicely gives a little bit of an aniseed flavour going on in there. And the flavours come together just really, really nicely. If I can get that one to stick, let's chop a bit of that off. Pop badger in there like that. There we go. And then the little bit of lemon oil that we made earlier, just going to have a drizzle around. And there we go. I'll lift them up one at once so you can see. So that's the presentation of the first one.
Okay.
And the presentation of the second one. You can see that exactly the same, look a lot different.
Yeah. I like that one.
Yeah, exactly. And I'm always saying to the waiting staff at Lumley Castle or wherever I've been as well, that when a chef plates a dish, it is like a piece of art to him, and it needs presenting to the customer as he looks at it on the pass, because that's how he's plated it and that's how he sees it. That's his vision of the plate, and that's what he wants the customer to see when they get it down, put down in front of them also.
So Shane Guilford's in from Cheshire College South and West, if you remember from the Young Chef final last year. So he's watching.
Oh, yes, yes. Fantastic. Hi, Shane. How you doing?
I agree, Sarah. So Sarah says, I think I'd eat it off either plate, to be fair.
Sarah eats out of the bucket. When we had the pub, the General Burgoyne in Great Urswick, just on the outside of Ulverston, Sarah was our manager there, and she was, yeah, she can eat, put it that way. She's a lovely lass, but she can eat. So I've got the squash just come out of the oven there. So just nice and golden brown in the pan. So it's coloured on one side, but nice and soft and golden brown on the other.
Yeah.
So that's our lobster dish done. I'm just going to get on with the venison now. So I'll take you back over to the stove to cook this venison.
Okay. Stuart Paul Foster says it's looking great.
Cheers, Stewie. He used to be my sous chef at Virginia House in Ulverston. So I'm just going to get a pan on, get it warm first before we put a little bit of oil and a little bit of butter in there to start foaming away. Then we'll lay our venison into there. Also, I've got some galette potato to go with this. I'll just show you. So I made these earlier also anyway. So this is basically new potatoes that I've roasted through the oven. And then once they're cooked, take them out, allow them to cool a little bit, smash them up, but not a lot. And then we add what we call a liaison to that, which is basically a quiche mix. So it's double cream and egg yolks. Then we lay that back into a tray with the potato mix through it. Cook that again, cool it, and then we cut that into nice little squares, and that's going to go with our venison dish also.
Good. Can you see that comment there, Craig?
Yeah, Mark's on tomorrow. I'm going to be comparing him tomorrow morning at 9:30, another very early demonstration. Mark's a very good chef as well. He's at the Black Horse. Is it the Black Horse? The Blacksmith's Arms. Sorry, the Blacksmith's Arms in Broughton Mills in Furness as well. He appeared on last year's MasterChef. So he's a very good chef in his own right, on Mark. Glad you're tuning in. So the pan's getting hot there, so I'm just going to get some rapeseed oil.
Okay, question, chef. Claire would like to know what potatoes are you using for the galette?
The best potatoes to use for it is Charlotte potatoes. So they're quite small and quite waxy, so they don't break down very much once you've cooked them. So I'm just going to lay the venison into the pan. Just on a controlled heat. The galette potato is just going in the oven to warm through.
Craig, you'll remember from the last demonstration, I was saying to Paul, just the amount of chefs that are tuning in and watching and showing the support, been really good. Yeah,
it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, we're doing this for you guys out there as well, just to keep hospitality in the forefront of people's minds for when this is all over, and we try and open our businesses back up again, to get people coming out and to support us, because we're probably going to be one of the last businesses back open again, the hospitality industry, because social distancing is such a massive thing now, and that it's very difficult to do in an environment such as hospitality. So they're glazed on that side now. I'm just going to turn them over and get them going on the other side. And I might just throw them in the oven for 2 or 3 minutes just to get that heat into the venison.
Okay.
So you can see there, that's just cooking away nicely.
Yeah.
So a little bit more oil is going to go in there with that.
Craig, you should try and read the message that's on screen now. I think that's absolutely correct.
You guys also, I mean, these guys have really supported us. The Yorkshire Rapeseed Oil Company, the Rizzo Rice guys, and all the other people have kind of jumped on board at really late, really short notice, really, for an event like this.
Yeah.
They have also made this possible, because if it wasn't for you guys behind the scenes helping us put this together, this would never have happened.
Wouldn't be a festival, would it?
No, exactly, no. I mean, when we started, we were hoping for maybe 10 or 15 people to tune in and watch, or to get involved with the event. We've had like reaches of over 85,000 reaches on the posts that we've been doing, and over 1,500 likes on the virtual demo site on Facebook as well. So I'm just going to pop that in the oven for a couple of minutes now, just to finish off.
Okay.
Then we'll move back over here.
Cool. And while that's hello again.
Once I've done it, and then we'll bring another couple of plates. The plates have been very generously lent to me by Lumley Castle, Gordon Cartwright, who's the general manager at Lumley Castle. I said to him earlier this week, can I go and nick some plates from the kitchen? He was like, yeah, go and take what you need. So in the pan at the back here that I've just put on the stove, we've got a little bit of port jus that I'm going to bring to the boil and reduce down a little bit to get a bit of consistency in there.
So Craig, while that's...
work.
Say that again, sorry.
It's warmer in the kitchen here now than it is in the kitchen at work.
Craig, just while you're doing that, just obviously we mentioned Great British Menu earlier. There seems to be some real good sort of chefy friendships come out of that program. Some real bonding for those that have done it.
Absolutely, yeah. I mean, it was a massive thing for me to do, being a little almost chef in the middle of nowhere, and to then be invited to go on Great British Menu to represent the Northwest, which is what I did. I won't say lucky enough. I think it had a little bit to do with my skill that I got through to finals week and got down to the final 9. So the second time it's happened that there was 9 people in the in finals week, just because that me and Ellis drew in the regional final. Somebody put us both through to the main final, and from there, yeah, I mean, I've got chef friends all over the country now that I would never had before. Paul Askew, Ellis Barry, Tommy Heaney, Tom Brown, Lorna McNee. It's just amazing. It's amazing how these things open up doors for you as well, and just allow you to just to be part of everything, really. Yeah, James Cochran as well. He's an amazing guy, and we've been to eat at all these restaurants as well that the other guys have had, and just show support for each other. It's just absolutely fantastic.
And it doesn't come without a lot of effort and hard work, you know, achieving what you achieved. Yeah,
that too. I mean, it has been, and it's a labour of love at the end of the day, this job. I don't see it as a job, if I'm honest. It's a lifestyle. It's what I chose from a very early age, 16 years old, when I went to Lancaster and Morecambe College over in the Northwest. And then from there, moved my way up through kitchens and just got as good as I can by learning off as many chefs as I could also. I mean, I worked with some of the best chefs out there in the country. Eric Chavot, David Everett Mathias from the Champignon Sauvage in Cheltenham, Clive Dixon, who was at the Lords of the Manor in Upper Slaughter at the time. All amazing chefs in their own right.
And I think it came across in the programme, that sort of discipline and that meticulous attention to detail that you had.
I think I was called on numerous occasions a classic style, whereas Ellis Barry had a mad cap, mad all over the shop style. His dish was different from when he started the programme to when the actual programme, when he finished the thing. But yeah, I'd like to class myself as quite methodical in cooking. And I've learnt from the greatest, i.e. Eric Chabot and David and Matthias, who are very, very classical and very articulate about the dishes they put together. So they've learnt me a lot, they really, really have. And I'd suggest for anybody out there watching it that's a student, once you've left college, work as hard as you can when you're at college, but once you've actually left college, that's not the end of your learning path, that's the start of your learning path. The lecturers are doing an amazing job by giving you a really good grounding and basis into the hospitality industry. But when you get out there, that's when the real learning starts. And just be a sponge, just learn everything you can from everybody you can. Even if you start moving up the ranks and you're a chef de partie or a sous chef and you have a commie that come in that can show you something that you've never known before, learn from that person. It's all about networking, learning from everything and everyone that's around you, not just thinking you're the big I am because you're a sous chef now and the commie can't tell you what to do. If you can learn something, then learn it.
Very good. I'm really glad you give a shout out to the lecturers there, mate, because very often there's this gap between education and industry, and I know that's not the case with us.
Yeah, I mean, in that kind of instance also, I like to give back. So I'll do as much as I can for colleges, going and giving motivational speeches or guest chef evenings and stuff like that, because I haven't got to where I am in my career without the guys that are pushing the new guys through, if that makes sense. And we need them. We need the new guys through in this industry, especially after when we get back from what we're going through now. I know there's a lot of chefs out of work out there now and so on and so forth, but the new guys that are coming through are the new blood. And don't be, a big tip for them is don't be scared to learn. Don't think you come out of the college. No. Because when you get to year 3 at college, you're a big fish in a little pond. But once you step out into the world of work and get into a professional kitchen, you're a very small fish in a very big pond. And you'll get very quickly spat up and chewed up and spat out if you don't kind of, give your all to what you want to do and listen. So my venison's just come out of the oven now. It's just resting. Resting is a very, very important part of when you're cooking meat. I did a steak video on my YouTube channel a couple of days ago. If you want to go and pop over and watch that at some point after this weekend, after we've done all this. But yeah, resting is a very, very important part of cooking meat, because it lets it relax and rest back to what it was before you put it in the oven, rather than it being a real tense piece of chewy, inedible, almost tasteless meat. It makes all the difference to rest the meat after it's come out of the oven. If you go to a restaurant and your meat's very chewy, there's 2 reasons for that. Either it's not a very good quality piece of meat, or the chef hasn't rested it for long enough before he's put it on your plate.
True enough. I think while we've got this platform as well, Craig, I'd like to say thank you for last year, for you coming to judge the Young Chef final with us.
I'd like to thank you also for inviting me as well. That was amazing. And Chef Sean Noonan, that's where I met him. So he was a competitor in that last year, and I think if I've heard rightly, he's a competitor in it again this year. I don't know if that's breaking any protocols there, but hey ho.
No, not at all.
But yeah, I mean, it just brings everybody closer together, doesn't it? It's just linking and networking and just finding new connections all over the country. I mean, that's what this is about today as well. It's just bringing everybody together for a good cause, hospitality action, but also for us as chefs, just to kind of just keep ourselves going out there as well and practicing doing dishes like we do. I mean, we don't have this every day for tea, so it's going to be a real treat for Louise tonight to have lobster crumpets followed by venison. So.
See some nice wine now.
Yeah, unfortunately, Paul didn't send us any of his nice wines up there so we can have it with our venison. So we'll just have to make do with what we can find in the back of the fridge here, I'm afraid. Okay, so I think I'm ready to plate this venison dish up now.
Okay.
I think I'll go on this plate. I've only put 1 galette in the oven, which is my mistake, so I'll just do 1 plate of this. So our red cabbage puree that we made earlier. A nice roasted butternut squash. potato galette. A nice piece of our roasted venison there with the herb crust on it. I'm going to dab that venison off just on the towel for a second. I'm going to bring our jus over. A nice bit of jus just around the plate. And then this amazing oak smoked rapeseed oil that the Yorkshire Rapeseed Oil Company do as well. This is smoke in a bottle. This is absolutely fantastic. I tasted it when I got it the other day, and you can't taste the oil. There's no oiliness to it. It's just a real kind of intense smoky flavour. So I'm just going to give that a bit of a drizzle round. That's going to really intensify the flavour of the venison with the smokiness and stuff like that. And then just as a little bit of finish and a bit of greenery. Just a little bit of sweet cicely, which will bring a bit of aniseed to it as well, which is a really nice flavour to go with what we've done there. So from my presentation to your presentation.
Thank you.
There we go. So my two dishes there, I'll just bring them back up into the picture. So on the left-hand side, right-hand side, where you're looking at maybe, we have the lobster crumpet with the rapeseed oil from Yorkshire, rapeseed oil, lemon mayonnaise. And then on this side, we've got roast loin of venison with a almond and carraway crust, galette potato, roasted butternut squash, red cabbage puree, and some smoked rapeseed oil also from the Rapeseed Oil Company, which is absolutely fantastic. So there you go. That's my dishes for today, guys.
Brilliant. Thank you so much. Peter Callahan from CHR that sponsored the Young Chef competition as well. He said 2 amazing dishes there.
Fantastic. Thanks, guys. Thanks for the support. Appreciate everybody's support. We really do.
I agree. Magella and Graham Mitchell complimenting the dishes as well. It's really good that we're getting these messages in and that we know people are out there. Otherwise, it just feels like we're talking to ourselves, doesn't it?
Yeah, very much so. I mean, yeah, because we're just at this side of the camera. We can't see you lot out there in Facebook land, sitting there in your gardens with your gin and tonic and watching it on your laptop and stuff. We're kind of sweating it away behind the scenes here and making this lot happen. But it's all very, very worth it. It really is.
Well, look, mate, I'm conscious that it's sort of 10 to 4 now. Are you straight back on the live stream after this?
I'm straight back into who have I got in after this? I'm not too sure I've got in after this, but yeah, I've got to go and send a link to somebody else now to get them into a different studio. And then we'll be back on. So if Louise, my tech helper behind, could just stick another hospitality action video on. And then what we'll do is we'll see you all later, guys. Thank you very much. Please donate to Hospitality Action, amazing, amazing charity that do amazing work for our industry and basically keep us all out there and keep us doing what we're doing. So run VT, Louise.
Thank you, Louise. Thank you, Craig.
Ollie Hoyle, catering manager.
Peter Molar, doorman.
Ricardo Oliva, concierge.
Ulrich Edwards, concierge assistant.
We've got you.
Linda Anderson, cafe owner.
Ioana Gheorghiu, junior sous chef.
Nuno Pinto, bartender.
Mark Black, head porter.
Andrea Demir, receptionist.
We've got you.
Aaron Dixon, apprentice chef.
Federica Pinna, pastry chef.
Sabino Mazzone, pastry chef.
Himary Bochkay, barista supervisor.
We've got you. Sean Maharjan, sushi head chef.
Mitchell Collier, duty manager.
Anna Grabczewska, public area cleaner.
Whatever you do in hospitality, isn't it good to know that someone's got your back in case anything goes wrong?